Yeah, we have about 200 protesters there on the ground. We actually had our law enforcement just confiscate a firearm from one of these protesters, or really rioters are what they are, as they're obstructing law enforcement vehicles from being able to enter that facility.
Okay, there is one protester in Chicago right now that seems to be getting a lot of attention. This person right here, Kat Abu-Ghazaleh. She is a congressional candidate out of Illinois.
Up with liberation! Down with deportation! Up with liberation!
Yeah, that was Kat, along with other protesters, standing in front of a federal vehicle. And remember, guys, just a few days ago, detainees lost their lives while sitting inside of a federal vehicle. So now these protesters decide to stand in front of the federal vehicle, but again, the one protester who's standing out is Kat. And Kat has already been warned before, like you just saw in that last clip. She was forcibly moved out of the way for getting in front of federal vehicles. Now, before we start the video, make sure to please like the video. It's the #1 way you guys are helping this channel, but it also helps others see the videos as well. Also, by sharing the video, people will definitely see what's going on in Chicago right now.
And that psychopath opened fire indiscriminately on our ICE law enforcement, on the facility and on the van, and the fact that there is now a firearm, or there was a firearm there in Chicago, is very alarming.
Has that person been arrested, you know?
I believe that person has been arrested. There's been about 17 arrests as of this morning, and I think more are coming.
Okay, so for the new people here, before we get to Kat, I'm sure you've been hearing about these protesters in Chicago. Well, to be specific, this is the building which protesters are protesting. Basically, right now, there is a front gate right here to block off protesters, but that doesn't stop them from getting in front of vehicles, because eventually vehicles have to get in the facility and out of the facility. So I just wanted to give you guys some context. This is what's going on right now. Not so much the building itself is being protested, the vehicles are having issues actually getting in and out of the area. Oh, don't worry, it gets even worse. So I actually geolocated where exactly these protesters were trying to stop that vehicle, get in front of the vehicle. So we start right here, you make a right turn, look how far away the federal building is. You go all the way down here, cut across here, now you're on this road, cut down the road, and then you finally get to the federal building. But the point I'm trying to make is these protesters are exploiting the fact that they're going to block off the road for these federal vehicles to get into the facility, which means whoever is inside of those vehicles, like detainees, you know, the same people who lost their lives just a few days ago, these protesters are stopping, obstructing, and getting in the way of these federal vehicles, creating a massive, massive safety issue. And real quick, if you haven't already, make sure to please subscribe to my YouTube channel so I can keep you guys up to date with stories just like this. And again, make sure to please like the video and share it so we can get the word out there that this is happening right now. So here is congressional candidate Kat. Now, I couldn't find her in the last video we saw, but nonetheless, this is still her. This is her with a bunch of protesters getting in front of a federal vehicle.
Up with liberation! Up with liberation! Up with liberation! Down with deportation! Down with deportation! Up with liberation!
And again, you are allowed to protest. Protesting is what makes the United States great, to get your word out there, to say how you feel. But it becomes a little problematic when you are getting in front of a federal vehicle within today's political context. And again, I'm a little shocked coming from a congressional candidate, considering if you're going to run for Congress, you might need to know that what she's doing, allegedly, and these protesters could get you in prison. I mean, these protesters, a lot of them, as I make this this video have already been arrested for obstruction, getting in the way of federal vehicles. And again, in today's political climate, we have already seen people inside one of these vehicles lose their lives. And it wasn't ICE agents, it was the detainees. But hold on, it doesn't end there. Kat was also spotted on my own YouTube channel because the mainstream media and other prominent conservatives didn't even know this happened. Kat was spotted on video, we're going to watch it, where she runs onto federal property, almost obstructs an arrest, and then runs back away. And I just have to point out, here is a mayor also standing in front of a federal vehicle. We already talked about that mayor in a previous video. You can go look that up, but let's watch the raw tape. Now look, I think the reason why people did not see Kat, and again, it looks like she's putting her hands on that vehicle, which again, this is not legal. Sorry, allegedly putting her arms on this vehicle. Everyone was focusing on Captain America, but I thought I recognized this person in the background, not even because of the hair and the mask, but because her pants. I will show you that in a second, but let's run through the tape. Yeah, her hands are on the vehicle, like literally on the vehicle. Okay, so from here, that second guy goes to save the man dressed up in Captain America, and then Kat runs onto federal property, almost obstructs the entire arrest, and this agent right here spots her. And then she gets warning shots at her feet. And then she runs back. But again, I want to show you guys, she has already, once again, been forcibly removed from the situation. Now, this is the video that went very viral of Kat. She even posted it on her own YouTube channel, and the mainstream media did cover this. But we know it's Kat because you could just look at her pants in this video and the other video, and she has some sort of butterflies, and she's wearing the same exact outfit. But this video right here proves that we have multiple interactions or warnings that she was told she needs to stop getting in front of these federal vehicles, and now we have verifiable proof. You have seen it in my videos where she puts her hands on these federal vehicles. And again, you can see the butterflies on her pants here. This is 100% Kat, and she has posted it herself. And then she gets tossed out of the way. Now, again, obviously everyone was focusing on this video because when you look at it, I will admit it's rather violent. It's rather harsh. I mean, we just saw a young woman get tossed to the side. But when you bring everything contextually together, and now that we know by stopping a federal vehicle, slowing it down, that could harm the detainees inside the vehicle, harm the agents, this is now an incredibly dangerous situation, which is why I'm making this video. Kat is a congressional candidate. She's not a member of Congress. Just because you have congressional candidate in your title, it doesn't stop you from anything. You still have to follow the laws like everyone else. Okay, so here's Kat actually talking about the situation on the ground. She's going to talk about why she's there. You should go join her. And to be clear, I don't support what Kat is doing. I don't align with her politically, but I do think it's important that we hear the other side. We hear what she has to say and why she's on the ground. So here's what she has to say about the situation.
It is Friday morning on September 26th, and I am at the Broadview processing facility, which is where ICE headquarters its operations in the Chicago area. We've been protesting out here every Friday morning, 7 to 9 a.m. We encourage anyone to come out. We're here a bit earlier to bear witness to the deportations that happen at these times.
Now, I do want to point out, Kat is talking pretty close to the federal building, as close as she can get. However, we did see people quite a bit of ways protesting federal vehicles trying to get to this building. Now, I want to make it clear, I am not equating or saying that Kat was involved with those protests all the way down the road. I didn't see if she was or not, I couldn't tell. But nonetheless, we did see her get in front of moving vehicles belonging to federal agents.
But this is the first week that ICE has erected this gate. And it is an unlawful gate, to be clear. The fire department in Broadview has declared that this gate has to come down. It's a fire hazard. Ambulances and fire trucks can't come through if they're needed, but ICE put it up anyway.
And by the way, I agree with her. This is a fire hazard. But one thing I do want to say is this gate is here for the protesters as well to protect them. So this is a liability issue also for Homeland Security and the protesters. Because the protesters, whether you like them or not, they do have to have a way to legally protest. That is their right to be able to protest. But the issue is if you're going to try and destroy and get in front of the federal building, you know, that's taking it too far. So these agents have had no choice but to put up this gate, but I will agree with her. When you put this up, it can create a safety hazard for everyone involved, to include the detainees inside of the building that, you know, these protesters are supposed to be supporting.
So we need to put pressure on Broadview officials to tear this fence down, and we need to put pressure on Illinois as a whole to close this facility. So join us this morning, 1930 Beach Street, from 7 to 9 a.m.
Okay, so one other thing I want to make clear, Kat is not the only congressional candidate in the area. Leave your comments down below if you want me to make a video about them. It just so happens, and this is the way media works, Kat is the one going the most viral, and she has, I think, the largest media presence out of everyone else. I'm not even going to say their names and give them views, but Kat already has quite the viewership. It's not like I'm promoting her. If anything, she has a bigger name than me. So I just want to point out of everybody out there, there are other congressional candidates. Leave your comments down below if you want me to talk about them. But when it comes to Kat, she's like the most prominent, and all eyes are on Kat right now. Now again, I do not align politically with Kat, but I'm trying to show you guys, Kat is kind of a little revolutionary here. She's doing live streams and playing video games, and she is a young woman, and she's promoting her campaign through this new, like, way of making money for her campaign. Again, I want to make a distinction. I do not align with Kat. I don't agree with what she's doing. It looks like she's breaking federal laws, but I just want to show you guys, out of every congressional candidate, she's doing this. She's like playing video games and talking about ICE. I don't see anybody else doing that. So I think it's very crucial we actually learn from the other side and see what they're doing. And if she has like something going on and a lot of support, maybe we need to see what's going on here. So I'm going to play this clip, and I want you guys to see this is like how Kat promotes her campaign and her content.
If you can, and you're in Illinois, 7 to 9 a.m., 1930 Beach Street in Broadview, Illinois. Come and protest the ICE facility there. We need to get it shut down, and we need your help to do that. So show up, 1930 Beach Street, 7 to 9 a.m. I'll see you there.
Cow.
If you want to hang out with your favorite gamer girl and protest ICE and tell them to get the fuck out of our state, 1930 Beach Street.
And look, I'm going to be honest with you, I think Kat is very smart in doing this. Again, I'm not giving her props for her political beliefs and ideologies, but trying to get young voters, which the Democrats are just really bad at. Their polling and stats are so bad, they don't have anyone. When you have someone calling themselves a gamer girl, I mean, this is kind of impressive from her end to take this new direction of trying to promote her campaign, but more so also promote this protest. Again, the point of this is not to promote Kat and like we align with her politically or our ideologies, but I'm just trying to show you this is what's happening on the other side. Expect to see more of this if Kat is getting a ton of promotion. Expect to see more young candidates pop up
7
and do this exact same thing.
to 9 a.m. Bring a buddy, bring some snacks. If you plan to stay after ICE makes it clear they could escalate, you'll usually see them put on some gas masks or whatever. Bring some eye protection, like goggles. Bring a mask, bring some ear protection. And if you have any medical experience, if you have any medic training, especially if you're like an EMT, please consider being a medic if they're needed.
Now, one thing I want to point out is that Kat doesn't seem to be giving any context in this clip. Like, let's just say I'm watching the stream. I'm like, yeah, I want to go protest. Oh, and you got to bring a gas mask. Okay. Oh, and if you are a medic, bring your experience, bring your equipment. Like, you need to be prepared. Like, oh, okay, what is going on here? Are we just going to be peaceful in protest? But again, she did sort of shift the blame to ICE that they're like known to escalate and stuff like that. So I just want to give a little warning out there. If you're going to follow Kat and take her direction with these very very vague statements, just so you know. If you escalate with Homeland Security, they will escalate back. And those are the laws provided to Homeland Security, which have been signed off from by Congress, which Kat is trying to be a member of Congress. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, we're starting to see like this uptick of congressional candidates in the area, and maybe they're using this as a promotional aspect. One thing I do know about Kat, she did post and talk about that viral clip, and then was asking for donations, and she's not hiding it. She's out there, she's doing her thing, and of course, if you're going to be a congressional candidate and you don't have a lot of donors, you gotta make money some way and promote yourself. So, look, this is not an endorsement of Kat, but she just happens to be the one protester who's standing out from everyone else because she keeps popping up in these videos. Now, one thing I'm a little shocked about is by now, every single conservative channel has pointed out the fact that Kat has been putting her hands on federal vehicles, obstructing, allegedly getting in front of federal vehicles. So the thing is this, like, are you just allowed to do this and you're gonna get away with it and then promote your campaign? Because let's just say she wins her congressional race. Now she's going to be a member of Congress. Like, is she going to get arrested then? Is she going to have charges? I have no idea what's going to happen. So who knows? Maybe someone from Homeland Security is going to watch this video and maybe make a phone call. I don't know. But anyway, this is Kat. If you guys want to go support her, go support her. Yeah. So that's the video. And one thing I do want to say is, please, I advocate for peace on this channel. I want us to all come together. Don't be protesting and getting hurt. Be a peaceful protester. And this is why I even played a video to let Kat speak, so we can hear her side of the story. I don't agree with pretty much anything she has to say, but we gotta let them talk and we can all come together and have peace. So thank you guys for everything. God bless, and we'll see you all later. Again, let's pray for peace.